If I could go back in time and sort of choose whether I got my second bachelor's or not, I probably would not have gone the second bachelor's route. So this video is for those who are considering a second bachelor's and wanting to find out, was it worth it? If that's you, if you're considering it, then I want you to stick around as I share tips on what was good and what I wish I'd done instead. What I share in this video could make or break your decision in taking it, so I suggest you walking through it. But first off, I'm glad I got my second bachelor's and it did pay off. You know, before my second bachelor's, I was working a job that paid $10 to $11 an hour. I graduated with liberal arts and I just really didn't know what to do with my life. I was in a place where I was like really shy and it was hard for me to talk to people in a way. And so the job of sales or anything else just kind of wasn't an option for me. So I, didn't like my career that much at first. And then I went to school to get my second bachelor's, which took about 2 years for me to complete. And then I got out and then I got my first high paying job at $60,000 a year. And as time went on, ended up earning more than $250,000 over the course of less than 4 years. So it was totally worth it, right? I'm so glad that I went. But that's a part of if I went. And if I could go back in time and sort of choose whether I got my second bachelor's or not, I probably would not have gone the second bachelor's route. And here's why. Here's what I wish I had done instead. First off, if you have a bachelor's degree, that already opens your door to so many possible careers out there. It doesn't matter if you graduated in English or communications or liberal arts or any of those other useless degrees, there's still plenty of options. You can get into insurance sales, banking, marketing with almost no extra skills put onto you. And those jobs out there pay about $45,000 to $50,000. And so honestly, I first wish I had taken that on instead. Just gone for a regular job that can go anything. Because it's not like if I take that job, I'm stuck there for years and years and years, right? I went on and took on my second bachelor's first because I was in a hurry. I was like, oh, I don't want to take on some insurance sales role or some banking role, but I don't want to get stuck, So I was in a rush to go to school when I never knew what it was like to be paid $50K plus. And if you already have your first bachelor's, trust me, you can find a job that pays around that much if you just take a few months, maybe even less than that, to pick up some skills and find a job that pays well. So the first thing I wish I had done is just look for, regular $45,000, $50,000 paying job and just go for it and do it for 1 year. After I stay there for about a year, then I can kind of decide, second bachelor's or not. But what I would have done actually is think about what I like and don't like about the job, gravitate towards what I like. Maybe it's the marketing side that I like. And so I'll take on more marketing courses or watch marketing YouTube videos or something and kind of take that on and transfer it into some kind of marketing role and get into that. So as soon as I find the higher paying job, I would readjust to go into another high paying job that I like more, that I can see myself in for the long term. You do that, you get paid for the whole year, you take a couple of classes, then you transfer. That saves you like $30,000 worth of going into second bachelor's for a job that you would have liked anyway. So I would have done that. And then after doing that for a while, for me, since I'm more of a creative person, I would have just used that time in my second job, building that up and going after what I actually care about. Mess around a little bit and just get started and have fun. Shooting YouTube videos, trying to speak, maybe if you're in graphic design or you love filmmaking or producing, hey, go for that too and just give it a shot for a bit. So then after I found the job, after I spent a year or so in it and moved on to a different career that suits me a little more, and I spent, a few months dabbling into the thing that I really like. For me, it's coaching and a little bit of speaking. For some of you, it might be filmmaking. For some of you, it might be a wedding photographer. I would dive into that, and then I would have hired a coach. A coach would have been the greatest investment for me. Because at that time, here I am working a job. I enjoyed it a lot, and I can see myself in it for quite a few years. But then there's that other big thing that I really care about. There's that lifelong passion that I really care about. I would have hired a coach because I know that would have given me clarity. I know that there'd be a person or some support structure guiding me through and working through all of my my struggles, my doubts, my limiting beliefs, and just overall haziness to get past the thing I needed to get past. I know if I had done that, I would probably be much further along in the path that I really enjoy at this point. So the long and short of it is find a job that pays pretty well first, and spend a couple months to learn that new skill and move into another job that you actually care more about. Third would be to dabble and try and take it as seriously as you can, the hobby that you're doing. And then after you do that for a few months, then it's time to go big, and that's when you hire a coach, which will help you transition into having that be your main thing. One quick reminder, if you're finding this video helpful, then please hit that like button so that YouTube can do its algorithm thing and recommend this video to people in similar situations. Thank you. I'm going to give one last tip that will wrap this all up and help you decide whether you should continue with a second bachelor's or not. But before I do, there's just a couple things I want to mention that can help us be a little more connected. One, if you are in a position in which you're working and you're trying to look for a new job or look for anything new, and you actually want to dive into the passion or whatever personal product that I mentioned earlier, then you can go ahead and DM me on my Instagram right here. DM me with the word change. I will respond to you within 24 to 48 hours, and we can just get chatting on what it is that you want help in. And if you want even more help, we can set up a call to guide you through that. There's no fee to it, and there's no obligation. Final tip I want to mention is that if you really enjoy, computer science or engineering or some kind of finance or accounting or nursing, and you can see yourself doing that for 20 or 30 years, and get a second bachelor's. If, however, you're kind of doing it so that you can have something that's higher paying for a few years, but you have something else that you actually care about, then I would consider doing something else. And if you want to know my experience that I went through my second bachelor's, which can really help you decide if you want to do it or not, the video is right here.